guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette and doing a small tutorial. This is what the outside of the palette looks like. I've already taken it out of the box. The inside looks like this. It's a really beautiful palette with a lot of blush tones and oranges. It has a really nice black shade over here. So the Modern Renaissance palette is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I have used it all the way down to pan here, and multiple other shades have gone really close. The Soft Glam palette is identical in style. They both have the suede on the outside, and the inside looks the same on both of them. It's the same number of shadows in each palette, so I have high hopes for this one because of how well this worked out for me. The blendability is amazing, the colors are amazing. Without getting too chatty, I'm just going to hop right into the tutorial. I'm going to start by taking a big fluffy blending brush and going into this shade right here, Tempura, which I really loved in the other palette. I went all the way to pan on it. It's a great base shade. I am sure that the formula is the same. I only assume so since it's the same color with the same name and everything. Tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to take this all over the entire lid all the way up to the brow bone, and it's just going to help the transition shade and all the other colors blend together really nicely. You don't have to be too super precise with the color of the base shade because it's just going to go all over the lid. You don't really have to place it in any one spot. So I'm going to start off by taking the shade Burnt Orange, which is right here, and make that my transition shade. I'm just going to pick up a little bit with a Morphe E27 and then tap off the excess. And take that right in the crease, just right above it. So you are going to take this transition shade pretty high up if you want a really smoked out look, which is what I'm going for with this palette. So then I just go back in. Next I'm going to take a Morphe E23 and go into the shade Dusty Rose right here. Again, just kicking off the excess. It does have quite a bit of fallout from what I'm seeing. I'm going to take that directly in the crease right here and blend it out and towards the center. But I want to focus most of the color on this outer corner and crease area. And you just want to blend that color back and forth and in little circular motions. Blend it into that other shade, blend it up just a little bit, but don't take it as high as your transition shade. And again, just right in that crease. Take it a little ways in and blend it out. So next I'm going to take a Morphe M518, which is a crease blending brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Sienna right here. I'm just gonna once again kick off the excess. I will say that there's a lot of kickback on this palette. A lot of product is coming up when I'm just gently touching the brush in. And now I'm gonna focus this color directly right here on this outer corner and blend it upwards just a little bit, but not really into the crease, just sort of keeping that color on the lid. And taking it about halfway or 3/4 of the way over. Next, I'm going to take this brush from the Tarte Unicorn collection. It does not have a number on it. It's just a flat eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to mix the two shades Rose Pink and Sultry together. I like to dip into both. Okay, a lot of kickback on these shadows. Shimmer shadows tend to have a lot of kickback, but that is kind of crazy. I mean, that just fell all over my desk. And a little tip that I like to do, I like to take setting spray on a shimmer shade and spritz it a couple times to really make that shade pop. If you want the shade to be a little more subtle, you don't have to use setting spray, but I like when they really pop. And I'm going to take this shimmer shade, starting from the inner corner of the eyelid, about quarter to half of the way in. Then I'm going to repeat that same step on the other side. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see it all, but I do have a little bit of fallout right here from that shimmer shade, even though I spritzed it with setting spray. So that is a little bit of a negative for me, but it's not like a deal breaker. You can just take any sort of brush and just gently wipe it away. I will say I've had disasters where I take a brush to wipe it away and it smears the shadow, so definitely be careful trying not to get fallout on your face after you've already done foundation, or you can start with the eyes and do your foundation afterwards. I normally do that. Today I just did my face makeup first for the sake of the video. So I do want my shade on my eyelid to be a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go into the Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2 palette. It's a highlighter palette that looks like this. And I'm just going to take this lightest shade here in the middle and lightly dab my shadow brush in there, tap off the excess, and just go over the shade I already put on the lid. I'm just going to pat it on to try and bring a little extra sparkle and brightness to the color. See how it just brightened up the color just a little bit? And repeat on the other one. So next what I'm going to go ahead and do is smoke out the lower lash line. I'm going to take that burnt orange shade that I started with as my transition shade on this Morphe M578 brush, which is one of my favorite brushes for underneath smoking out the lash line. When I do smoke out my lower lash line, I always make sure to tap off all the excess shadow, and I take a setting spray and I spray it once to make sure that it's just going to stay in place and not move around, because you have less leeway under your eyes, whereas on top, if it moves around a little bit, it's less of a big deal. So I'm just going to start right here and just blend it towards the inner corner. And out back towards the corner of your eye. Now this is not a step that everybody should take. Smoking out the lower lash line only works on certain people's eye shapes. Everybody has a different face. Everybody has a different look. If this doesn't work for you, you could just finish off the eye look or do some shadow on the bottom to make it look like liner if you prefer that look. I just personally prefer the smoked out look on my eye shape. So once again, I'm going to dip in there, tap off all that excess, and spritz it once. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Aesthetica brush that I got in my BoxyCharm box this month and take it into the sienna color that we used on the lid, spritz it with setting spray, and then take that brush much closer to the lash line to get that darker color, only focused right there next to your lash line and not really smoke it out. So there should be a line straight there. And then take that same brush that you blended out the bottom with before and just blend that color out. And repeat. Okay, so I'm gonna put on liner and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I put on liner and mascara, so this is gonna be the finished look. You don't have to put on liner. It's not a look that needs liner to complete it. I just wanted to do liner today. I am gonna set my face with setting spray real quick. And you wanna hold the setting spray about 10, it says about 10 inches from your face, and spray it a couple times. And then I use a fan, or you can use any kind of thing to dry it so that there's no droplets on your face. Alright, so that's gonna be it for the look, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if you have any questions on the palette. Overall, I think that the colors are really beautiful. I think that they blended pretty well. I do think that the kickback on the palette is kind of crazy. A lot of product comes up when you dip that brush in there, even when you're really gentle with it, which I'm not a huge fan of, which is why I didn't like the Subculture palette either. But overall, I think that the colors are really beautiful and you can create a lot of versatile looks, just like with the Modern Renaissance palette. If you guys have any other questions on the palette, please let me know. It is really beautiful packaging, just like the Modern Renaissance, which used to be just as pretty. I think for the price, you really can't beat it. It's a lot of shadows. They're really beautiful. They do blend really well. And it's a great brand. It's a brand that continuously pushes out really great products. And I am not disappointed by this one at all. I love that they have tempera in this palette as well, because I hit pan on it in the Modern Renaissance and it is the perfect base shade. Overall, love the palette, would recommend it to anybody. Be on the lookout for new videos coming soon. I know I've been a little MIA, but I plan on doing a lot of videos here soon. I got a lot of new makeup for you guys and a lot of new stuff coming out that I'm really excited about. I'll link all the products that I used in this video below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications on future videos. Thank you guys very much. See you next time.